Hello and welcome to another video. It's OT19 or Ultimate Gamer 19,000, and I am here today to review to you all the 2024 Rogue. Is it as bad as everyone says it is? Before this video starts, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more 2024 1 D&D, Baldur's Gate 3, and or general D&D builds. And on Thursday, I will be uploading a random multi-class Thursday, so don't worry, that's still gonna go up. But yeah, let's just get into the new Rogue. Now, the reason why I'm covering the Rogue is mainly for a couple reasons. First of all, I kind of wanted to give off a gripe I had with the Soul Knife, because the Soul Knife with the Swashbuckler, rest in peace, the Swashbuckler, are my favorite rogue subclasses. Many rogues I want to play usually are Swashbucklers because the Swashbuckler is just the best way to play rogue, the funnest way to play rogue. And looking at the other subclasses in 2014 and beyond, there wasn't really many contenders for how powerful the Swashbuckler meteor rogue is. Now there are definitely some really good contenders because the assassin is really powerful now. But I'm not here to really discuss kind of the powerful of the subclasses. I'm more here to discuss why the rogue being called the weakest class now isn't as big of a problem as you may think it is. Now, if we go back into the years of D&D, many people would say that the ranger is the weakest class in game, which I feel like is a very bad take, especially since sharpshooter has always existed. But now, since gloomstalker is existing and overall, just many subclasses got reworked. A lot of people like to agree that the Ranger is probably one of the more powerful martial characters in the game, or martial based characters. Now, many people used to say that the monk was one of the weaker classes in the game, or was the weakest, which I wholeheartedly agreed with. Since the UA8 monk is probably one of the strongest martial characters in existence, if it isn't changed very much or only buffed, a lot of people are now targeting the rogue for the weakest class allegations. And and honestly, I we haven't seen the warlock or many other classes, but from what we see so far, and judging by the UA, because it seems like the newest UA of the class kind of is what we're getting. Which honestly, I'm fine because I feel like the latest versions of almost every UA, except for the Paladin, rest in peace, Divine Smite, was really good and honestly what we as a community wanted. But now this kind of is changing or being altered a little bit because with the Rogue, they didn't change much from the playtest. They kind of kept it the same, and now it's a weird thing because the playtest Rogue was seen as good. It was like, yeah, it's good. It's balanced with other classes, but now the Barbarian and the Fighter have gotten such beneficial buffs and boons that it kind of makes the Rogue seem what the Rogue got less. And I'm kind of here to say that when the monk was considered the worst class in the game, it was considered that because it was useless. It was a bad DPS, a bad tank, a bad utility, a bad support. You want a character with good perception and insight? Play a cleric. You want a character with good DPS? Play a fighter. You want a character with good tankiness? Play a barbarian. And also, if you want to play a good unarmed fighter and a good unarmed character that uses unarmed strikes, play a fighter. Quite literally, the fighter is just better at it in every way possible. So when you looked at it and you just saw that the monk was always just the worst at everything. It was always the worst at it. There was nothing it was good at. And now, so I feel like when people say that the rogue is the worst, I feel like that's kind of disregarding that the rogue isn't good at damage. And that's all it's not good at here. So that's kind of my overall general opinion, but I'll go into more of the features and kind of tell you why I believe this. Now, first of all, they get weapon masteries. Good. Every martial class should get weapon masteries, except for the monk apparently, but whatever. Thieves' Cant is now better, gaining you additional language proficiency, another utility feature. All the rogue subclasses got some really cool um basically tune-ups. I hate the fact that soul knives don't get the nick property, but we'll call it a day. Sure, whatever. The having the Vex property is still good enough. In my home games, I'll allow the Soul Knife to get both because rogues get two weapon mastery features. So whatever. I couldn't really care much. Steady aim is not a base class feature. So now if you have an annoying DM that hates Tasha's, or you can tell them to go suck a finger, because now you'll be able to get some really cool advantage when you're. Is it? I think it's just any like ranged weapon. Oh, wait. Actually, do they have it here? Do they have what's the name of this? Oh, Shadow. No, no, no. Oh, it does. Shadow D&D Beyond. Alright. So steady aim. Um. Okay, it doesn't give like the gen because I don't know. It does only work for range. I would assume it only works for range attacks because you're not really stabbing. I guess it could work for melee. Let me just read. You're so. Oh yeah, it's just the next attacker. Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess it's not. It's only not good because of you can't move. So I mean, it does work on all attacks, which is a good change. And if you're an assassin, oh, I just hit my mic. Sorry. If you're assassin, then you're really gonna like the new steady aim. Again, a pretty cool feature. Cunning Strike allows the rogue to be pretty have to some pretty good utility. Being able to poison a target. Poison is a very paralyzing condition. No matter what, that's one of the reasons why Mercy Monk is so good because it can just inflict poison simply by existing. Being able to trip is pretty cool, and being able to disengage without using a bonus action is it's nice, but as a rogue, your bonus action economy has been severely freed up thanks to the new weapon masteries, meaning that if you want to take a bonus action attack, it's no longer a bonus action. So, withdraw. Reliable talent being moved from level 11 is absolutely massive and a very great buff to utility. At level 7, just being able to get all of that cool stuff is so nice. Improved Cunning Strikes allows you to basically just use more utility. Use your Cunning Strikes, which Cunning Strike basically allows you to trade sneak attack dice for pretty cool effects. Level 14, you basically just get Cunning Strikes, but they're even stronger now. Blind Sense is removed. You now gain proficiency in Wisdom, Charisma saving throws. And yeah, that's about it. That really matters. Now, when you look at it here, these features don't really focus on damage. They don't focus on DPS. They don't really care. So when you're an optimizer that cares for like damage based characters, this rogue, yeah, it seems booty cheeks. It doesn't seem very strong. But when you widen your horizon, this rogue is probably one of the best utility characters in the game. Like, if we're being honest here, this rogue probably is the king of utility. Which, honestly, is alright. Because, yes, the rogue can't deal bonko crazy damage, but it still can deal damage. And also, I am pretty sure that now as a feat, because I know there is a feat that allowed you, yes, skilled. If you take, at level 1, if you take the skilled feat, you can now gain 3 proficiencies. Meaning that with your 3 proficiencies plus the 4 rogue gives you, I think, and also backgrounds give you another 2, you can have 9 proficiencies. That's a lot of proficiencies. And also if your race gives, I think your race may also give you some proficiencies. Meaning that over 9 skills, you can no longer roll less than a 10 on any skill. Meaning if you like investigation, if you take proficiency in investigation, I think the minimum if you have like a 10 intelligence is like a 13, which isn't great, but it isn't bad either. As you can see, the rogue now has this veil of utility that is extremely powerful. So now, if you want to be a rogue that just like now, if you want to be a rogue that has really good wisdom stat, you can now be a insight demon, a perception demon. I think nature or medicine, really good. You can be extremely good at all of those skills, and when you combine that with expertise at level 7, if you're trying to lockpick something, you can't roll lower than like a 20 or an 18. Which I mean, for level 7 characters, most locks won't be higher than a DC 18 or even 20. So, allowing the rogue to have this utility, supreme utility, at such low levels gives you that sense of this is what the rogue was made for. Which is why, when people are saying that the rogue is the weakest class, don't be scared to not play the rogue. Be like, if you just know that you're playing the rogue not because it has the highest damage, but still, don't let everyone trick you. The rogue can still do really high damage. It's just it's less than what marshals are capable. Like, I mean, I've seen rogues at lower levels deal like 20 damage in one strike, and that's like level 5, level 3 rogues. Which I mean, yeah, 20 damage in one turn isn't the most, but that's still pretty damn nice. And especially now, if you're in Optimizer's table, then that 20 damage is probably gonna be what they're doing per strike if they're using Great Weapon Master, even the new version, and all Charger, all of this other crap on top of it. But you still need to realize that in the battle, you're still going to be useful. I mean, one of the main reasons people play rogues is to just kind of chip off enemies. If you see your barbarian has left an enemy in like 1 HP, you simply just go up, take a shot at it, boom, it's gone. Then your barbarian can go attack other players. So it's not the fact that the rogue is useless like the monk was. The monk had no purpose. It was mediocre at everything. It wasn't even the jack of all trades. It was just Jack. Like it didn't even have the all trades part. It was just bad at everything. Now, this rogue isn't the best at combat, but it's not bad at combat either. It can still do some decent burst damage. And especially when combined with the fact that now every time you sneak attack someone, they could be potentially getting poisoned. When if you're fighting a really big enemy, trading in a D6 of damage, which is what it is, to potentially cripple that boss for almost like for every one of your allies' turns is extraordinarily massive. And yeah, it's only 1d6. And hey, it's the same reason why Cunning Strike feature is now going to be so overpowered in my personal opinion is the same reason why some DMs found the Stunning Strike to be overpowered. It's because it's crippling. But the problem with Stunning Strike is that it took a limited resource. Sneak Attack, if you're playing a big boss monster, your BBAG, and you have a barbarian, a fighter, and like a paladin all just wailing on your boss, or even just one character, all it takes is one character wailing on your boss for you to go out, boom, land your sneak attack, and an attempt to poison him. So yeah, let's say if you're a level 5 character, you have 3d6 of sneak attack damage. Look, your damage isn't going to be already great. So taking away 1d6 to get a poison condition is potentially game changing. And honestly, more than worth it in my personal opinion. Or even if you're one of those characters that likes to go up and just stab, then disengage and just book it, then yeah, that's totally fine. But still, you're not meant to do damage, and I think Cunning Strike is kind of showing rogue players that you're not made for DPS. You're made to debilitate. You're made for auto combat use. So when people say that the rogue is bad, don't let that dissuade you from playing a rogue. Let that just show you that combat wise, you're going to be bad. Because that's what they're talking about. Solely combat. Not utility, not support in combat. It's just pure DPS and or damage. So yeah, that's kind of today's video. It's a shorter one. But I did just want to get that point across. That if you play a rogue, you're not going to be useless like how Monks was. But yeah, that's it from today's video. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, that's all from your boy, Ultra19. Signing out. Peace.